Voting is officially underway for the 2019 EU elections, with many noting the irony that Brexit Britain was one of the first EU countries to go to the polls on Thursday, along with the Netherlands.
Well, if you want Brexit, you've got to vote Brexit. We did it once, they ignored us, so we're going to tell them again. And this time, they will realise that it isn't just the votes we get today, it's what we might get at the general election that will cost them all their jobs. So they better listen to what people say today, or they'll all be unemployed.
One person, perhaps, who may not need to wait till a general election is incumbent UK Prime Minister Theresa May, who may be gone by early next month. And her party looks set for an election drubbing, with all polls pointing to a sweeping victory for Farage's Brexit party. They would join a whole raft of far-right parties expected to do well. But these elections don't just decide who becomes one of the 751 MEPs of the European Parliament. 8 different political alliances get to nominate a candidate for the EU Commission presidency. So whichever party gets the biggest majority or forms a winning coalition gets its candidate in the top job to replace Jean-Claude Juncker. In the Netherlands, the socialist candidate talked about what he thought would be important for the next EU Commission president.
I think the Commission President should himself take charge of the fight against the climate crisis. He should also be very much involved in creating a social Europe, making sure that big companies finally start paying taxes all across the European Union, and keeping everything and everyone together. That is the most important issue for the next years.
Member state Hungary goes to the polls on Sunday. The Liberal Party's lead candidate said what his group would do under a new 5-year parliamentary mandate.
We're going to build a new political force in the centre of the European Parliament, together with Momentum, together with La République En Marche, with the troops of Macron. And that will be a new, strong, pro-European group to stop the nationalists and the populists, but also an alternative to the bad governance by the old parties, by the socialists and by the conservatives.
If holding these elections wasn't tough enough for the UK, on Thursday they suffered further embarrassment and ridicule for not organising their polling day properly. Trending all across social media was the hashtag #DeniedMyVote. EU citizens registered to cast their ballot in the UK, it seems, were turned away from polling stations and unable to vote due to administrative errors. The problem was expected to be resolved an hour before the polls closed in the UK. Let's hope they got to vote. Mariam, Zaidi, CGTN, Brussels.